loving father, a caring mother, a perfect family, or so it seemed, but behind the polished smiles lay a truth no one dared to imagine, a truth that ended in blood. Mark Walsh, respected father, admired by neighbors, feared by his own family. Evelyn Walsh, the picture of kindness, the caring mother, the devoted wife. And Jacob, 18 years old, quiet, invisible, dismissed by both parents again and again. But in that house, Jacob saw everything: the shouting, the bruises, the nights his mother cried behind locked doors. He tried once to stop it, 16 years old, hands trembling. "Leave her alone," he said. His father didn't hit him. He didn't scream. He laughed. "You couldn't protect her if your life depended on it." Those words burned into Jacob's mind. And that night a decision was made. One day he would prove his father wrong. 2 years later, the moment came. A Friday night. A crash. Glass shattering. Jacob crept downstairs. His father's hand was wrapped around Evelyn's wrist, her voice breaking. "Mark, please." Jacob grabbed the fireplace poker, his heart pounding, his breath unsteady. Mark turned, that same cruel smirk on his face, and Jacob swung. Once, twice, again. The sound, sickening. The silence after, unbearable. Mark Walsh lay lifeless on the carpet. The man who ruled his home with fear was gone. Evelyn froze, staring at the blood, at her son. "Jacob, what have you done?" And Jacob whispered back, what he never thought I could. For the first time, the house was quiet, not with fear, but with freedom. But freedom came with a price. A body, a crime, a choice. Call the police, or bury the truth. Evelyn placed a trembling hand on Jacob's shoulder. "No one can ever know." Her voice steady, her eyes cold. Her son finally seeing her, not as a victim, but as something else. Not pity, not disappointment, something darker. Respect and calculation. Because in that moment Jacob realized, maybe his father wasn't the only one who controlled this house. That night, mother and son dragged Mark Walsh's body to the basement. Each step heavy, each breath sharp, each silence louder than the last. When it was done, Evelyn smiled, a faint chilling smile, and Jacob knew. The secret of the Walsh family wasn't the father, it was the mother, and the lengths she'd go to keep her freedom. Jacob barely slept. Every creak of the floorboards, every shadow in the hall, it all felt like his father coming back for him. But Evelyn, she was calm, too calm. She cooked breakfast the next morning, smiled at the neighbors, laughed in the kitchen, as if nothing had happened, as if murder was just another chore. Jacob watched her closely, the way her eyes lingered on him, the way her voice stayed steady. For the first time he wondered, had she been waiting for this? Had she known it would end this way all along? Days passed, but Mark's absence raised questions. Where's your father, Jacob? Why isn't Mark at work? Evelyn had the answers ready. He's away on business. He needed time off. Each lie slipped from her lips like silk, effortless, convincing. But Jacob's hands still shook, his voice cracked, and people noticed. Detective Harris came knocking. Friendly smile, curious eyes. "Mind if I ask a few questions?" Evelyn welcomed him in, offered him tea, told story after story. Jacob sat silent, the words catching in his throat, the guilt pressing heavier by the second. But the detective kept watching him. Not Evelyn, not the spotless house. Him. Later that night, Jacob confronted his mother. "We can't keep this up. He'll find out." Evelyn's expression hardened, and for the first time she raised her voice. "He won't find out, unless you tell him." Her eyes sharp, her tone cold, and Jacob realized she wasn't protecting him. She was controlling him. The son who once saved her was now trapped by her secret. And then came the discovery. Jacob returned home one evening, the basement door unlocked, the smell of bleach thick in the air, and there, on the workbench, sat his father's watch, wiped clean, polished, waiting. Evelyn appeared in the doorway, her smile faint, her words chilling. "You left it behind that night." Jacob froze, his heart racing, because she wasn't just hiding evidence. She was keeping it, as leverage, as control. And that's when he knew, he wasn't free. He was trapped in her game. The mother he thought he saved was the one holding the knife to his future. And what she whispered next would change everything. You're going to help me again. The words echoed in Jacob's mind. Not a request. A command. Evelyn wasn't the victim anymore. She was the architect. The one pulling every string. That night she laid out the plan. Simple. Precise. Chilling. Detective Harris was asking too many questions. He had to be distracted. Led away. And Jacob? He would be the bait. Go to him, Evelyn said. Tell him your father ran. That you saw him pack a bag. Jacob's stomach twisted. Lying to a detective? It was reckless. It was dangerous. But when he hesitated, Evelyn's eyes hardened. You don't have a choice. If I go down, you go down with me. The watch. The poker. The truth she had buried. All of it in her hands. So Jacob obeyed. The next day he sat in front of Detective Harris. His voice shaking. His palms sweating. I saw him leave, Jacob whispered. He's gone. The detective studied him carefully. Too carefully. And Jacob felt the lie tighten around his throat. But Harris didn't call him out. Not yet. He simply nodded. Thank you, son. You've been very helpful. That night, Evelyn was pleased. Almost proud. You did well, she said. But this isn't over. And then she revealed the next step. Mark's body couldn't stay in the basement forever. It had to be moved. Destroyed. Jacob's heart pounded. You want me to? Yes. Her answer was sharp. Certain. You're going to help me finish this. And so, under the cover of darkness, mother and son carried what was left of Mark Walsh. Every step heavier than the last. Every silence louder. They drove for miles. To the edge of the old quarry. The perfect place to erase the past. Jacob stood over the dark water. His father's body at his feet. His hands trembling. Do it, Evelyn whispered. Push him in. Jacob froze. His breath shallow. His mind screaming. And then, headlights. Blinding. Unforgiving. A car pulled up behind them. The engine cut. A door slammed. And a voice called out. Steady, commanding, familiar. Jacob. Evelyn. Step away. Detective Harris. Kindly consider subscribing to the channel for more true crime stories just like this one.